Welcome back to another episode of Just One Fern. As you can tell, it's just me today. So it's actually, I think, the first ever episode where it is just one Fern. It's just me, Aaron Fern, your host here. Lucas is on vacation this week and next week. Hopefully, I'll have a guest on next week, so it won't just be me talking for a long time. But this is going to be a little strange because I haven't actually done a show yet by myself. I've always had Lucas to play off of. But I do hope that he has a great vacation. He didn't put in with HR, and HR is me. So I don't know how he got this time off from the show, but somehow he did. But he's going to Alaska. So if you see him in Alaska, if we have any listeners in Alaska, find him. Do we think that he will be killed by a moose? Something to think about. I'll put up a poll on our Instagram. We'll see. Do we think Lucas will be killed by a moose? Possibility is actually larger than you think. I think he has a 15% chance of dying from a moose attack. Who knows? I hope he doesn't, but we will miss him for the next 2 weeks. But I hope he has a great time. So today, we're just going to kind of get right into things. I'm going to be answering questions from a few of our listeners. I'm going to be talking about a few topics that have happened this week in the news and the media. And I'm going to be doing Is It Weird on my own. So we'll see how that goes. But first, if you have not, before you watch the rest of this video, please like the video, click that up button, like it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need this. It helps us so much when you guys subscribe and like the video. It helps us a ton. We really appreciate it. While you're at it, go follow us on YouTube. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. And also just kind of throwing this out there. If you want to be on the show, if you are an artist, if you're a comedian, if you're a musician, whatever you do, if you want to be on the show as a guest, in our bio, on all of our social media, there is a link to a Google form to fill out, and you could submit your music, submit your work, where we can find you, where we can check you out, to be considered to be on the show. And we will reach out to you if we feel like you would be a good fit. So do that if you're interested as well. And also, if you're interested in joining the Just One Fern team and helping us out with social media or videos or marketing, whatever it is you want to help us out with, let us know. DM us. We definitely could use the help. We have a great team right now. We have Kenny and Jenna. They're killing it on the social media and video end of things. We really appreciate them, but the more the merrier. So if you are willing to work with us and you feel like you'd be a good match, let us know. All right, so let's jump right into things. I thought that it'd be funny to tell the story of how Just One Fern got started, because I don't know if we've ever told the story on this show. So Lucas and I were in college together. We were both music industry majors, and we were in this final class called Student Record Label. In this class, we were trying to promote a show that was coming up. It was a band that was performing at a bowling alley, and we were trying to get a bunch of people to come. And we were thinking of ways as a class. We were like, how are we going to get people to come? Are we going to have, what kind of marketing strategy do we want to do? And I remember saying, why don't we just do a talk show? I feel like that'd be funny. If we had a talk show to go on, that'd be hilarious. And they were like, oh my God, that's a great idea. And we were thinking all right, asking people in the class, do we know anyone that could host it? Do we know anyone that has a show or whatever? And we had no idea. There was really no shows at Fredonia, which is the college that we went to. There were no shows. There was a TV station. It kind of sucked. But we were like, why don't we just do it ourselves? And I kind of raised my hand and I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to host a show, so I can do it. And Lucas was like, I can be that guy who stands at the podium next to you. And we were like, perfect. This is fantastic. So we have this video. I don't know where it is. I'll have to check back and see if I can find it. But this original interview that we did of this band, Superficial, and we interviewed them, but we did it in an Eric Andre style type of show where all the jokes, all the questions that we asked them were jokes. And it was so much fun. And it's funny because we were about to do another one in the spring, but we got sent home for COVID. And that's when I decided to kind of pick it back up and take it on myself. And it wasn't until like 6 or 7 months later that I added Lucas in. And it's honestly the greatest decision I ever made was to keep this show going and adding Lucas, because it's been incredible. And I really appreciate everyone who has listened to the show, who has followed us, who continues to support us. It means a lot to us because we have a lot of fun doing this. We don't make any money from it, so we just do it for the hell of it. We love doing it. It's fun. We love talking to each other and just shooting the shit and making funny jokes. It's just kind of what we do anyway. So we thought that this was a good way to keep that going between us, especially because we don't live in the same area. So it keeps us connected. But again, thank you so much. We've almost reached 2,000 total views. That's a huge milestone. Thank you again. But that's kind of the origin of where this all started. It was Lucas and I from the beginning, and we're very excited to see where this goes. We're almost to our 40th episode. I believe this is 36. Just absolutely crazy. So we really appreciate everyone listening and tuning in. So let's jump right into some topics from this week. Lucas isn't here, so I get to talk about sports. First big thing, if you're not a soccer fan, that's fine. But Italy won the Euro tournament, Euro championship. They won the final. They beat England in England. Huge. And I feel terrible for it went to a penalty shootout. So 120 minutes, tied 1-1. Went to penalty shootout. Italy came up with the win. I mean, and it wasn't even. I thought it was a battle of the goalies, honestly, because I don't think that any of the people that were actually shooting the ball did that great. Like the keepers made the biggest plays. But yeah, Italy won. I'm very happy about that. As an Italian, Lucas is as well. But yeah, it was an amazing game. Amazing game. To all the people that are sending death threats to the England players that missed their shots, fuck you. You guys are assholes. You are horrible people. Find something better to do. It is just a game, and they are people. So you have absolutely no reason to send horrible, racist things to these players that were just trying their best to give you a championship, to give themselves a championship. So, and I'm pretty sure they don't give a damn if they let you down. They care if they let their teammates down more than if they let you down. So, like, get over yourself. Like, nobody really cares about you in that moment. Like, I feel bad for these guys that missed those shots, but it's a game. There has to be a loser. There has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. That's how it works in sports. So it sucks that it didn't work out for England, but it doesn't give you a right to be a piece of shit. So check yourself, England. That's all I got to say. But on the other end of sports, basketball, the NBA finals are happening right now. It's the Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks. I do have to say, I never liked the NBA until 2015. I was always a college basketball guy. I grew up watching SU basketball, and I will always be a college basketball guy before NBA. I do enjoy NBA, but I also really enjoy college more, honestly, just because I grew up in that environment. But this NBA Finals is amazing because it's two teams we haven't seen yet. But the reason I got into the NBA was because in 2015, I happened to be scrolling through the TV and landed on this game between LeBron and Steph Curry, and just watching those two go at it was just incredible. And that's kind of how I got into the NBA. But it's tied 2-2 this series between the Bucks and the Suns. Devin Booker is just an incredible basketball player. He's like the next Kobe. That's what people are saying. He's the next Kobe Bryant. He has that Mamba mentality. However, last night was game 4. He had at least 9 fouls. Like, should have fouled out at least 5 times. It was kind of crazy. The refs just weren't calling fouls on him in like the last 4 minutes of the game. It was kind of crazy. But Giannis on the Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he is just a freak of nature. Like, the Greek freak is the perfect name for him because he's just insane. I don't know how he's able to do the things that he does. He had this insane block where he was guarding someone on one side of the paint. They alley-ooped it to another guy, and he turns, jumps off 1 foot, and blocks the other guy from dunking it. Just an insane basketball play, an insane play by for any human to do. I don't think I've ever seen a block like that before. It was amazing. Um, if you're not into basketball, the NBA finals are the perfect thing to watch. Besides, the NCAA tournament, those two things are probably the best time to watch basketball. Also, the Olympics are happening right now, but the U.S. team kind of sucks for some reason. Even though we're supposed to have the best players in the world, we can't win a game. I don't know what's happening with that, but it is what it is. Um, so yeah, if you haven't seen that, if you haven't been watching or keeping up with the finals, I highly suggest it because Milwaukee hasn't won since the 1950s, I believe, or the 1960s. I don't remember when they won their last championship, and Phoenix has never won one. So it's an amazing, amazing series. It's going to be huge no matter who wins it. But it's already tied 2-2, so it's going to go at least 2 more games, probably 3. I'm assuming it'll go 7 games. So check it out. It's fun. I over the weekend I went to my friend's house, his apartment downtown, gorgeous apartment. I could see like the entire uh, skyline of Nashville. It's absolutely gorgeous. I went and watched the UFC fights, and now I am not a UFC fan, but I mean, some of the fights were really great. Like they were really intriguing, honestly, because I'd never really watched UFC before because I honestly get scared that I'm going to see something gross, which I ended up seeing. But there were some really great fights that were really impressive for some of the guys from like a forms standpoint and like the way that, I did karate for a long time. So seeing how these guys fought and their strategies in the ring, it was very interesting. But I saw the worst thing that I could have possibly seen, and that was Conor McGregor snap his ankle, or I think it was his tibia or tibia, no, fibula, no, I don't remember what it was, but it was like right above the ankle, and it was so incredibly disgusting that I feel lightheaded right now talking about it. But when I saw it, I immediately ran into the bathroom and threw up because it was that gross. If you haven't seen the break, don't watch it unless you really enjoy that stuff, which makes you a very strange person. You would be considered weird on our Is It Weird segment, but don't watch it. I highly suggest that you do not watch it because it won't leave your brain. You won't be able to sleep. It's disgusting. He kicks the leg, doesn't realize that it breaks, steps back on it. It's over. Done. Absolutely disgusting. Um, I hate watching injuries. I hate when people get injured in sports. And like that's why I don't really like UFC because it's brutal. It's just absolutely brutal. Everyone is just taking the goal is to knock the other person out. And I just feel like that's such a dangerous, dangerous sport. And those rules, I mean, there aren't really any rules. You get into the octagon, you put your life on the line. That's what everyone keeps saying. And I'm like, who wants to go into a sport and fight in a sport where you could die? Like you could actually die. And that's just something you're okay with. Blows my mind. But yeah, so don't watch that because I threw up and it was horrible. All right, so moving on to more less gross things. The finale of Loki was this week. If you have not watched it, please fast forward through this section because I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler. But Loki, great. I think it's the best series of the 3 so far. I loved the other 2 as well. They were both really good. Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision. But Loki has just blown my mind because it's setting up everything else coming up. It's been great. Um, but if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. If you're not a Marvel fan, what are you doing with your life? I don't understand. It is probably the best TV show of like a superhero show that I've ever seen. I've seen like the CW shows. Excuse me. I've seen like the CW shows of like Arrow and the Flash or whatever. Those don't even hold a candle to Loki, and Loki was 6 episodes. But we are getting a season 2, which is perfect because they set up so much stuff. I have so many questions, and so does everyone. Everyone has questions. Loki and Sylvie, who's another Loki. They get to the end of time or whatever it is, and they find He Who Remains, which I don't know what his actual name is. That might be the villain's name. I'm not really aware of what the actual villain's name is, but that's what he's called in the episode is He Who Remains. They go and they have an option. They're like, all right, do I kill him or do we kill this guy and just chaos emerges and there's like 100 more of him from different multiverses that will come like and start a war between different universes. Or Loki and Sylvie take over the TVA and run the whole thing and keep the timeline intact and safe. Loki, Tom Hiddleston Loki, is hesitant for either, wants to talk about it, but Sylvie is so angry that she decides she wants to kill him because of all the shit she went through and her life being ripped away from her. And so Loki's like, no, they fight a little bit. She like pushes him through the portal there and he gets back into the TVA headquarters, but the TVA headquarters, he's like in a different time or something. Like I don't know what happened. This is why I'm confused because they don't like Owen Wilson's character doesn't know who he is. And so I don't know what happened. There's a statue of He Who Remains after Sylvie kills him. Just mind-blowing stuff. Who knows what's going to happen? I think we won't find out until probably not until Doctor Strange. But we might find out a little bit more in the Spider-Man movie, but who knows? We will be getting a Loki season 2. I don't know when that's happening. I don't know if that's going to happen like before the end of Phase 4. I'm assuming it will because it has to do with all of this multiversal stuff. But yeah, I don't know if it'll happen before then or not. If it'll happen maybe before Spider-Man, if it'll happen before Doctor Strange, who knows? But I'm very excited to see where this goes. I can't wait for Fantastic Four because I love the Fantastic Four. They've never gotten it right ever. I think the Human Torch might be like top 3 favorite superheroes of mine, and just they've ruined it every time. I mean, Chris Evans did a great job, but he's Cap. He can't be the Human Torch as well anymore. But they need to do a good job with it. I think they will. But I mean, Loki was incredible. It was such a good show. I think that Tom Hiddleston is an underrated actor in many cases. I'm glad that he had this chance to like have Loki be the main character of a show. It really gave him freedom and like free reign to just, explore the character more and create it himself and turn it into something that, people don't view it as. And I think he did a great job. In music news, John Mayer is coming out with an album tomorrow. By the time this comes out, I will be in a deep, deep John Mayer hole, listening to his entire album, probably 1,000 times. It's called Sob Rock. I cannot wait. He released a song recently. It's basically just Toto. It's basically Africa by Toto, but amazing. I can't wait to hear it and listen to it. Please, if you care about me at all, you will listen to this album because it is probably going to be the best album of the year. Hands down, probably going to be the best album of the year. Also, Walk the Moon came out with a 3-song EP. I don't know if an album's coming out or not, but go check it out. Really good. It's very... It's Walk the Moon. It sounds exactly like their other stuff in terms of instrumentation and the way that they're structuring certain songs, but it's not like their first album, which was more indie rock, and this is more in their pop genre area. But it's definitely worth checking out. In other news, this is kind of blowing my mind. I wish Lucas was here because he'd be having a fit. Coca-Cola, is changing its flavor. What do you mean, Coke? What are you doing? You're changing your flavor? Are you crazy? I don't know what is prompting you to do this. I was reading an article and they're like, last time they changed their flavor was in like 1958 or something. and the whole world rioted because they were like, "What the hell is going on here? You're changing the flavor of Coke. We love Coca-Cola. What are you doing?" That's what's going to happen now. Probably times a million. Coke is the foundation of America along with burgers. It's burgers and Coca-Cola. It's like McDonald's and Coca-Cola. Those are the two things. You have to have them both all the time. Coke is the number one soda. So why are you changing it? That makes no sense. You're already the leading soda seller in the world. Why are you changing it now? Explain this to me. I don't get it. But it's a New York Times article, so it's true. I'm very interested to see why they want to cause World War III, but I mean, it's going to happen. Lucas and I were talking about it. We're prepared for the World War. We will be commentators for it. We know we're here. We recognize what we have to do in our part. We won't enlist, for sure not. You don't want us in the army. No way. We will commentate on it. We will watch from afar, and we'll talk to you guys about it. We'll, send thoughts to you guys at home and give you updates. But Coke is starting this. Do they want Pepsi to take over? I sure don't. I don't like Pepsi compared to Coke. Coke is so much better. So why are you doing this? Why? Please answer me. I'm very upset about it. All right, let's get into questions from you guys, from our listeners. So, first one: marry, kill, hook up. As you all know, the game marry, F, kill. Usually, you have to marry one, kill one, and hook up with the other one. And so he said pancakes, waffles, and French toast. This is really hard. I do have to say that I would kill. I would probably kill French toast. French toast is out for sure. It's not as versatile as waffles or pancakes. I feel like you have to be in a very specific mood to have French toast. You can't have it all the time. Whereas I feel like pancakes and waffles I could eat all the time. But I do have to say that French toast is delicious. They're all delicious, but I think that it's done for it's a KO for French toast. But between marry and hook up with pancakes and waffles, I'd say hook up with waffles because I hate Waffle House. I'm on a protest for Waffle House. I've gone there once. It's the worst establishment ever created. A lot of people are very mad about it. I posted a TikTok and I was like, I'm from the north. I went to Waffle House and I think it's the worst thing in the world. They were like, a lot of Southern people were like very unhappy. They were like, move back up north. We don't want you down here. And I said, listen, man, I don't have any control over that. I get paid here, so I have to be here. But so I'm kind of on this anti Waffle House thing. So I would hook up with waffles, just one and done, get out of here. And I would marry pancakes specifically to stick it to the Waffle House people. I wouldn't kill them though. I would tease them a little bit, just with this hookup thing. Be like, you're done. Like, I'm gonna one and done. You guys suck, because that's what I basically did already. I went to Waffle House. It sucked ass. I hated every single moment of it. It was terrible. And right afterwards, I was like, I'm never coming back here again. Never coming back there again. I'm never gonna waste my time by going there. It's very cheap, understandably, because it's so disgusting. But think about this. I went to a place in Fredonia where there were maybe like 2 or 3 diners, and then I also went at home in Syracuse. There are like 5 amazing diners where there are like a million options. Everything is really like reasonably priced. And then there's Waffle House, which has maybe 4 or 5 options on the entire menu of what you can get. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. That restaurants are disgusting. They're absolutely gross. This turned into a Waffle House rant. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I would marry pancakes, kill French toast, and hook up with waffles. That's what they get. All right, next question is, do you have a favorite instrument? I don't know if I have a favorite instrument. It depends on the song that I'm listening to. And, instrument is so vague nowadays, but I'm just gonna go with this in a literal sense because there's so many synthesizers, you know. Um, I guess I have to say cello, cello for sure. To listen to, cello is my favorite. My favorite to play is the sax, but um, yeah, a cello is just so incredibly gorgeous. I don't think there's ever been a song that I'm listening to with cello in it that I don't absolutely love. So I think that that's the my favorite instrument for sure. Um, Gabe Baker that we had on, he plays the cello. Go check out his music because amazing. Anything with the cello in it is just good. AJR uses the cello all the time. Awesome. JT uses the cello. Awesome. So all my favorite music uses cello. It's great. Um, my friend Sophia says, "Why is Sophia so hot?" I'm assuming that you're not talking about yourself and that you're talking about uh, Sophia DiMartino from Loki. She plays Sylvie. Very attractive. I agree. Um, Next question is, what movie have you watched most in your life? Oh, this is a good question. Oh man, I've seen a ridiculous amount of movies. When I was in high school and middle school, I would like buy movies all the time. Like that was the main thing on my Christmas list, on my birthday list. Like buy me movies. I want to watch movies. I want to, I just wanted to watch everything. I was obsessed with, TV and movies, and um, I'm much less obsessed now, and I think it's just because I don't have as much time and I put my energy into other things. But uh, I still love film and media and stuff like that. I don't know what I've seen the most though. Like I don't really have. It's probably something that would be really rewatchable, such as a Star Wars movie or Lord of the Rings, maybe. Um, Honestly, maybe a Marvel movie. Hmm. It's probably a Star Wars movie that I've seen the most. Um, Probably because it's just on TV all the time. Like Star Wars is specifically on TV all the time, and we owned the movies, and I would just watch them all the time. Man, yeah, I don't know. This is hard because I'm thinking of my favorite movies, but I don't know if my favorite movies are the ones that I've seen the most. Anchorman's probably up there. I've seen Anchorman a million times. Um, Back in the day, I watched Grown Ups a million times when I was in middle school and high school. I watched Grown Ups all the time. Um, yeah, no, it's got to be Star Wars. I don't know which one though. Probably, probably, uh, the Return of the Jedi, number 6. Probably that because that one's my favorite. So I think that one probably be it. Maybe. I don't know. If I think of something else, I'll let you know. But let me know what the movie you've watched the most in your life is. This is a great question. I would love to hear everyone else listening to it. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Um, I can already guess my mother's. It's probably Overboard. Um, that's probably her number one movie. Oh, but then there's Christmas movies. Christmas movies that I watch every year. And probably twice. Christmas Vacation I've seen 100 million times. That might be number one. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Wow. I've seen like It's a Wonderful Life, and I've seen every Easter I've watched the Ten Commandments. Like I've seen certain movies like that every year that no matter what year it is, like you're still gonna watch it. So I've seen it at least like 22 times. Um, yeah, Christmas Vacation might be number one, honestly. It's a yeah, because although I don't really count um Rudolph a movie, like Santa Claus is coming. Those are like a half hour thing. Like I don't really count those as a movie. But Christmas Vacation is up there. Then that might be number one, either that or Star Wars. Great question. Thank you to whoever sent that in. All right, last question from our listeners. Any new music you're working on? Uh, Before I talk about myself, Lucas and his band Citrus Maxima, their new song is coming out, and I think a few weeks, the 27th. Yeah, so 2 weeks. Um, Citrus Maxima is coming out with a new song. Go pre-save it. Their link is in their bio. Citrus Maxima on Instagram and Twitter. Go check it out. It's going to be a great song. It's supposed to be the sister song to 1970, which reached 100,000 streams. Crazy stuff. Go check that out. For me, I got a bunch of stuff in the works. I haven't really recorded anything recently besides my song that just came out. So if you haven't gone to listen to Greedy, please go listen to that. That would mean a lot to me. Put it on your playlist, share it with your friends, share it to your Instagram stories, your Snapchat stories, put it on Twitter. Tell me what you like, what you don't like about it. But yeah, I have a bunch of stuff in the works. Like any musician, I have a bunch of stuff that has been sitting in my computer for months. But it's very busy right now in terms of work and like things I have going on. So I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually work on songs in a while. But there's a lot that I would like to get done that I'm working on for you guys to hear. So I'll keep you posted for sure. Thank you for asking the question, but make sure you're streaming Greedy for now. And like I said, adding it to playlists. Let me know what you think of it. If you like it, if you don't like it, let me know too. I want to hear all thoughts and opinions on it. So yeah, let's move into, is it weird? All right. Is it weird? Is it weird that I need total darkness at night? I always see everyone look at their phones and turn on lights inside at night, but it literally hurts my eyes. I'm weirding my roommates out because I go in the bathroom at night and don't turn on the freaking damn bright fluorescent white light they have in there. I just use this weak flashlight I have, or candles. I love bright sunlight during the day, but something readjusts my light sensitivity once the sun goes down. I can't even look anywhere close if someone sitting beside me has their phone on full brightness during a late bus, train, plane, etc. ride. You didn't need to put all those in there. How strange is this actually? Extremely strange. This is very weird. At first I thought this meant like you need total darkness to fall asleep, which I would think is a little less weird because a lot of people are like that. But this is absolutely insane. You're saying that you can't even look at a person's phone, like if you're hanging out with someone and it's nighttime. If it's nighttime, it needs to be completely dark. What are you talking about? Are you Batman? Like you need darkness to be elusive? This doesn't make any sense. No wonder you're getting shit from your friends. And I'm sorry. Are we in the 1700s? Did you say you use a candle to go to the bathroom at night? A candle? What are you holding it out like this? Like this? Like you're some old man in the 1700s walking around, trying to find something in the middle of the night? That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. And for the people that are, listening, is maybe thinking like, oh, like I would use a flashlight to go to the bathroom or something. Yeah, if you don't have electricity in your house, do you not have electricity? Can you not turn on a light? This is crazy to me. I mean, the fact that they can't even look at like a phone at night, because I understand like my eyes have been really dry lately because I look at screens too much when I'm working and everything. And, at the end of the day at night, my eyes hurt. So it's hard to keep looking at, bright blue lights. But are you kidding me? Like you can't even just look at your phone quickly. Like it burns that badly that you need to use a candle instead. Yeah, this person's weird. You are very, very, very strange. You're never going to be satisfied. Nothing's ever going to be perfectly dark unless you're in a room with no windows. So you might want to start getting over that because that's very weird. It's very weird. I'm going to say, I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's very weird. All right. Next one is it weird if I date the son of someone who used to date my mom? So when I was in middle school, my mom dated a man for about 6 or 7 months. During that time, my mother would sometimes bring me along to his house with her. The man had a son, and we would play video games together and whatnot. And sometimes I would spend the night at the house when my mom did. At the time, I saw him as a stepbrother. My mom's boyfriend then proposed to her, and after a week of them being engaged, they broke up and never spoke again. I never spoke to the man's son again after that. I honestly forgot he existed. Fast forward almost 10 years later, me and the son end up finding each other through our social media and catching up and hanging out with each other. We have started to become very close and to the point where it's more than just a friendly bond. And part of me is convincing myself that it's not a big deal because my mom and his dad aren't even together anymore and haven't talked in years. But another part of me is telling myself that it is weird. I haven't told my family about this at all, but most of my family remembers him. And I feel like if we did end up being in a relationship, that my family would look down on me or that people would try saying that it's incest or something. Oh my God. Is it weird? I'm stuck. Please help. Uh, just shutting that down real quick. Incest, no, you aren't related. So, no. But I do understand the concern here. I don't necessarily think it's weird if you date this person. It has been 10 years, you said. You guys were both very young when you used to hang out, apparently, and when your mom dated this man. Um, I guess it depends what your future plans are with this guy. If you're just gonna like be casually dating, then I think it's fine. If it's a long term, you like see yourselves being together for a while, then you might want to think about that a little bit more because that wedding would be pretty awkward, pretty strange. Um, so yeah, I think it's situational. I totally understand being confused, but I don't think it's necessarily weird if you date them because that's the question here. It's not weird if you date them, but it could get messy if if it goes to like a new level where you maybe want to get married or something. Then that's an issue. Just because it's going to be very strange if the two people that don't speak that were once engaged for a week just they have to be in the same spot partying it up. It'd be very weird. But no, it's not incest. Even though you probably said stepbro on purpose, you weirdo. Um, that's why you're weird, not because of this. You're just weird for saying stepbro and incest. All right, last one here. Where is it? Oh, is it weird that I can suppress hiccups until they're gone? I've been able to do this for years now. If I get hiccups, I suppress them, and as if I'm trying to keep in a burp or something. I can usually stop hiccups almost otherwise, but it takes maybe 30 seconds to. Uh, was this person born yesterday? That's like the number one thing to get rid of hiccups. You hold your breath, you suppress it, and then they go away. That's like number one thing. It's that and being scared. I think there's one more thing I can't think of, but the number one thing is you hold it in. You hold your breath. And then they go away. So no, that's not weird, but it's also not like a special skill that you have. I feel like I'm being harsh right now, but I feel like everyone will agree with me. This is a well-known thing. That's like hiccups. If you have the hiccups, you either they scare them out of you, and so you forget about it and they stop happening, or you suppress them so that you cannot hiccup anymore. And yeah, I mean that's not weird at all. That's a normal thing. So I don't know why you wasted your time, I guess, by posting this because I feel like people are just going to rip into you, which they are in the comments. People are like, dude, this is just normal. Everyone does this. They're like, this is how everyone stops having hiccups. So I'm sorry, dude. That's normal. You're not special in this way. Uh, but I'm glad you came to this realization because it will stop your hiccups. So that's awesome. Thank you for that. All right, guys. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for listening in. Next week, hopefully, we will have an interview. It will be just me again. Lucas will still be on vacation. But like I said, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube, go follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. Buy our merch. Let us know if you want to be a part of the team. Send us your music if you want to be on the show or your stand up if you want to be on the show and we will get back to you once you submit your work. Thank you again for listening. We miss Lucas, and again, let me know if you think he'll be killed by a moose. Again, possibility is very high. Make sure to call us if you have Is It Weirds that you want us to answer on the show. We love hearing from you guys and hearing all your weird questions. So definitely send those in, and we will talk to you next week.